Hi pals, John here with the Lens Power, and today we're going to dive into the Nikon menu system and find out where all those important settings are hiding. As we've discussed, if you've seen any of our other menu setting videos, picking up a new camera or a camera from a different manufacturer can be a lot like jumping behind the wheel of a vehicle that you're not used to. You haven't forgotten how to drive, you're just not quite sure where all of the controls are. So in order to help alleviate those problems, at least with cameras, not so much with cars, we figured we'd take a look at some of the important menu items on the various camera manufacturers. Today, Nikon. Now we're using the Z6 Mark II here, but the same pretty much applies for the rest of the Nikon range. The menu system is laid out pretty much identically. We just picked this because it has one or two things that aren't going to appear on their DSLRs. So we're not going to jump into anything that is pretty much easy to get to from the I menu. This would be the equivalent of Canon's quick menu or Sony's FM button on the back that they have there. But if I just press the I menu, you can see on our recorder that we've got image quality, picture control, white balance settings, release mode, which is the equivalent of your frame rates and shutter delays. But we are going to jump into the menu and just have a look at what's in here. Starting at the top, the playback menu is all about reviewing your images after you have taken them. So image review on off is right there. That will decide whether you have the image come up on the screen once you've taken the picture, but we're not too worried about what's in there. Nikon does things a little differently to some of the other camera manufacturers in that they have reset options separately for photo and video. So if you are a combination shooter, if you shoot both photo and video, you can reset your stills settings without impacting your video settings. This is actually a pretty useful thing, and for both photo and movie, that option is at the top of each menu. Now again, another way that Nikon differs from the other manufacturers is that their menu system is laid out in sort of an infinite scroll type setup. So it's actually a little bit easier to find some of the options if you just know that if I want to set up my image quality, whether it is basic, fine, normal, however it might be, that is going to be under the photo shooting menu. Same for picking out whether you want RAW or JPEG images, that's all going to be under here. White balance is also under the I menu, but also in here, and it's just a pretty straightforward menu system on this one. Actually kind of makes things relatively easy to find. Now, when you get to the bottom of one of the menus on a Nikon, you actually, if you keep going, you'll go back up to the top of that menu. So if you've missed the option that you're looking for, you can just keep going. As far as movie options, movie shooting options, one of the important things that might not be immediately obvious is where your S and Q settings are. They are under the movie shooting menu, as you might expect, and then under frame size / frame rate. If you go into here, you can see we've got our 120p options, 100 frames per second option. We've got our 4 times, 5 times slow motion options in here as well. So that's where you're going to find those high frame rates. Slow motion options are going to be under frame size / frame rate. Your codec options are also going to be in the movie shooting menu. There we go, and it is just pretty much straightforward. Couple more menu settings to run through. Firstly, if you are used to using vintage lenses or manual focus lenses on other camera systems, you might be familiar with having to go in somewhere and find the setting that is something like release shutter without lens, words to that effect. From what we understand, the Nikon range, especially the Z range, doesn't actually have that setting, because it will automatically detect if you have an older lens attached to it, or if you're attached with a dumb adapter, and will automatically just adjust for that. What you might want to do though is turn on some focus peaking. So come down onto the custom setting menu, come down to D, and then all the way down to 10. It's actually probably quicker to go to E and then go back up to D10. Sorry, D11 on this camera. It's going to be D10, D11, right around there on your Z6, Z7 cameras. And this is where you can turn your focus peaking on. You've got the 3 different levels plus off, and you have 4 different colors to choose from. That's just going to really help you when it comes time to manually dialing in your focus. A couple last things to go through. Formatting your card is right here, top of the setup menu, and then at the bottom of the setup menu you're going to have reset all your settings, and that is useful if you change a setting, you're not sure what it is you changed and you want to go back to sort of a factory default on the camera. You just go in and do that. One last one to find, and it's about halfway up, halfway down, depending on your point of view, on the setup menu, and that is the clean image sensor, and that will just, you know, give it a little shake to clean off any dust that might be on there, if you notice any of those things. As you can see, it's automatically set up to clean when the camera gets turned off, but you can do a cleaning anytime you choose. And that is it for the Nikon menu. If you have enjoyed this video, please consider giving us a like, subscribe, tell a friend, smash a bell, or whatever it is that all the other big YouTube channels are saying this week. And until next time, I'll see you soon.